Switch, Bethesda's next mobile game, and so on. There's a lot of interesting information here, but I felt the most video-worthy information for my channel would obviously be his comments on Fallout 4's flaws, because people naturally want answers as time goes on. So let's start off with a statement. Fallout 4 has a much more urgent main quest. You're a parent searching for a missing child than Skyrim's civil war amid the mysterious return of dragons. Todd Howard says, "We've tried it both ways. Fallout 4 was obviously intentional. We wanted to put pressure on you to do this and make it really engaging, but if you don't, it ends up falling flat. But the time pressure is kind of fake. In Skyrim, it is intentionally. Well, this is important, but when you want to look into it, it is not personal in that way." So, from what I'm gathering from this statement here, Bethesda almost entered Fallout 4 with the confidence that this is going to be a story that is going to grip everyone. It's mysterious. Who's the Institute? What's going on with my son? Who kidnapped him? And all that type of stuff. And then he admits that not only the pressure of the game is fake because you can completely walk away from it, because that would totally betray what a Bethesda Game Studios game is, but also that if you aren't engaged, the game's gonna fall flat. This is why Bethesda included a voiced protagonist to make those emotional moments all the more important. This is how all these issues tie together, because you look at it this way: if Bethesda didn't want to put the pressure on the player and tell an emotional story, then you likely aren't going to have your character voiced. If your character isn't voiced, that gives you more options, which will trickle down to the role-playing elements. It's kind of crazy how it all ties together. What makes sense, but is also just surprising to read, is that Fallout 4's story was intentionally trying to pressure you into things, whereas other Bethesda Game Studios games, when you exited the vault or you entered whatever land in Tamriel, you felt this feeling of, I need to explore, where Bethesda tried to change things up and really put the pressure on to investigate the story, and they sort of succeeded in that way. I think a lot of us didn't realize, but when you're heading to Concord and going back to Sanctuary, that back and forth is all main story progression, so Bethesda's already keeping you looped in, trying to get you to solve that mystery. Like I mentioned, one of the other bigger flaws of